In the past month, COVID cases in Florida have exploded from an average of 1,300 a day to more than 46,000. That's an increase of 3,500%. Late last year, the right was touting Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and his anti-mask, anti-vaccine mandate policies as a pandemic panacea. Many even said the media owed DeSantis an apology. But the reality is 62,000 Floridians are dead. And the public conversation has now shifted from where's Ron DeSantis' apology to where's Ron DeSantis? Because at the same time that more residents were getting sick, well, last month the governor disappeared from public view. And when reporters began asking questions, the DeSantis team, well, they lied repeatedly. They tweeted out a photo of DeSantis at a restaurant in North Florida, but MSNBC later confirmed that the photo was from an appearance 2 weeks earlier. They posted a photo of the governor visiting an Ocala bakery. Quote, had some great bagels, stop by if you're in the area. But DeSantis wasn't in the area. The bakery had tweeted out the same photo of the governor 2 weeks earlier. Where was Waldo DeSantis? And why was his administration misleading Floridians on his whereabouts? Last Thursday, the DeSantis team changed its story again, telling Fox News that he was accompanying his wife, Casey, to her treatments for breast cancer. Look, it's good to prioritize your family's health, of course. But if that was the truth, then why so shifty? Why all the dodgy pictures? Meanwhile, on New Year's Eve, 4 Floridians collapsed while waiting in a line for COVID testing in Tampa. Well, DeSantis finally showed up in public today at a press conference in South Florida. He and his Surgeon General announced they were getting tough, not on the virus, but on testing for the virus.
We're going to be working to unwind the sort of testing psychology that our federal leadership has managed to, unfortunately, get most of the country in over the last 2 years.
That's kind of sociopathic. If Ron DeSantis thinks that is dealing with the pandemic, maybe he should disappear more often. Joining me now to talk more about DeSantis is Florida Democratic State Representative Anna Eskamani. Thanks so much for coming back on the show. Happy New Year. Florida broke its single-day record with 75,900 cases on New Year's Eve. You have lines of over a mile long in some locations, people collapsing in line. And the governor's response today is to make it even more difficult to get a COVID test.
It's so incredibly ironic, and thank you again for having me, and Happy New Year to everyone. We're fighting on the ground to not only open access to testing, but to have science lead the way. And yet here we have Governor DeSantis standing behind a podium that says early treatment saves lives, and yet you cannot even access early treatment unless you get tested and know what your status is. So it's been so frustrating to see our governor continue to ignore public health and really just use his bully pulpit to campaign.
In this pandemic, Governor DeSantis has been keen to emphasize personal choice and personal responsibility, like calling the decision to get vaccinated a personal choice rather than one that affects everyone else. But isn't that what COVID testing enables to begin with? How can you make informed decisions or take personal responsibility if you don't know you're infected or not? This feels like very Trumpian in the stop counting it because it will make us look bad.
Absolutely. The entire philosophy is don't look up, don't get tested, pretend like there isn't a problem. And the more you can dissuade people from getting tested and the less testing results you'll have. And I think what's also really important to point out is this type of rhetoric around don't get tested. It doesn't just impact our efforts to take control of COVID-19. This will also impact other public health campaigns, from HIV status to other STIs. We work so hard in the public health sector to open up testing and give folks the access and honestly, the courage in some cases to know what their status is. We should be promoting that type of personal responsibility, not dismissing it and acting like it's un-American to get tested and protect yourself and your loved ones.
And on the issue of personal responsibility, DeSantis doesn't promote the COVID booster shot at all. Even Donald Trump now publicly promotes and praises the booster and says he got it. DeSantis won't say whether he got the booster or not. This clearly seems to be about 2024 and being as anti-vaccine as possible for this crazed GOP base, does it not?
Correct. I mean, this is Governor DeSantis trying to appeal to his Iowa caucus voters and not to Floridians. And really, the job of any public servant is to create calm, not to create chaos, to solve problems, not make problems. And our governor is doing everything he can to not govern and to focus on a potential presidential bid, leaving the rest of us behind and really putting the responsibility on local governments to step up where the state has ignored and neglected.
State Representative Anna Eskamani, thank you for your time today. Appreciate it.
Thanks.